about what you were looking at.
Oh, hello. Yeah, so what we wanted to find out was how different types of sleep loss would affect our emotional responding. So, as you said, we looked back over 50 years of research and we identified 154 different studies. So overall we had over 5,700 participants who'd already investigated this. And we looked at different types of sleep loss. So we looked at, for example, did they pull an all-nighter and have people sleep deprived all the way through for 24 or 48 hours? Did they look at giving people some sleep but not enough sleep, so maybe sleeping for 4 hours a night instead of 8? Or did they give people a period of sleep but then disrupt them kind of all the way through the night? And then what we were interested in were different types of emotional responding. So what happened to their positive emotions or what happened to their negative emotions? Were they more anxious? Were they more depressed? Things like that. So lots of different things that sort of to think about in the study.
All right, so did any of those sleep losses, the types that you just described, did any of them have more of an impact on another?
Yeah, so having complete sleep loss, so if you pull an all-nighter, had the strongest impact. So that's sort of the least effective. If you can get even a little bit of sleep, that's a good thing. But we found that all of them did have an impact of some description, definitely.
All right, and so I can imagine that everybody was a little more grumpy if they lost some sleep.
Absolutely, but what really surprised us was that it seemed to be our positive emotions that were affected more than our negative ones. So, as you say, anecdotally, when people are really tired, they talk about being grumpy or frustrated or irritable. But actually, when people were measured, what they reported more strongly was feeling less happy or feeling less content or feeling less joy. So although they did get a bit more irritable and frustrated, they had a much bigger reduction in those positive emotions instead.
Okay. Did it matter? Was there a difference in whether somebody was younger or older or any age difference at all?
So there were in some of the different findings. So a lot of the studies that had already been done were done in young adults. So there's a kind of caveat here that we need to do an awful lot more research. But we did find that for some things, I think, for example, our arousal, so how intensely you feel the emotion in our body, was different. So older adults were less affected by that than younger adults were. And similarly, our general mood was affected more in younger adults than older adults. So there were some differences that came through, but we need to do a lot more research with a lot more different people to be able to answer that properly.
Overall, do people get enough sleep?
No. So there's lots of different studies that have shown that people are chronically sleep deprived. So there was a big global study that came out very recently that showed that only about 15% of people got the recommended amount of sleep for at least 5 nights a week. So it really is a kind of quite pervasive problem that getting more sleep would be really useful.
Okay, so what should people aim for and any tips on improving sleep?
So I think ideally if you're an adult, we'll aim for sort of 7 to 8 hours a night, and everybody's different. So if you're waking up feeling well rested and feeling refreshed, then that's a good sign that you're getting enough sleep. And in terms of kind of how to improve it, I think treat sleep like you would any other act of self-care. So in the same way that we talk about eating healthily or trying to exercise regularly, I think it's really useful to prioritize giving ourselves enough time to sleep.
That's Dr. Joe Bauer, a lecturer at the University of East Anglia. If your car's been towed before, you know how difficult it can be to track your vehicle down. Now a newly available online portal makes it easier to people find out if their vehicle was towed in Oakland. Previously, the tow company's website directed people to call the Oakland Police Department, which took dispatchers' attention away from handling actual emergency calls. The portal can be found at oaklandautoplusTowing.com.
In the day many thought would never come, on January 1st, Disney's copyright on Mickey Mouse expires. Sort of. I'm Jeff Baldwin of Fortune Magazine with the Fortune Business Update. Disney ferociously protects the copyright of its many characters. Over the years, Congress has extended copyright protections in general many times, often just before Mickey's protection is about to expire. And copyright lawyers sometimes refer to the copyright law as a different then, and he didn't speak. In a statement, Disney says, quote, "We will, of course, continue to protect our rights in the more modern versions of Mickey Mouse and other works that remain subject to copyright," unquote. I'm Jeff Colton.
It's not the heat, it's the humidity. And it really is the humidity, especially when trying to get a comfortable night's sleep. European sleepworks design their sleep system to reduce the moisture, making you more dry and comfy. And they also use natural cotton and wool to make sure you stay dry. Don't suffer any more hot, sleepless nights. Sleep well on a breathable mattress from European Sleepworks in Adeline and Ashby and Berkeley, or online at sleepworks.com.
As anyone who wants to put more jingle in their holidays in their pocket. At NorCal Honda dealers' final days of Happy Honda Days, get best of the year deals on a reliable, fun-to-drive Honda that saves on gas, on repairs, and on holiday hassles. Cha-ching-ching-a-ling. Save on fuel-efficient Accord and CRV hybrids that can take you to the snow and back without charging. On sporty, dependable Civics and HRVs that make every ride hella jollier. And on rugged, roomy Pilot and Passport SUVs that can dance across ice and snow like neat, tiny reindeer, without all the infighting and celebrity attitude. And with high-tech safety features and a Bose premium sound system, you'll be ho-ho-hoing for years to come. Happy Honda Days end January 2nd, so dash into your NorCal Honda dealer now. For more information, visit NorCalHondaDealers.com or ask anyone who owns a Honda.
Hey guys, did you know that half of men over age 50 have erectile dysfunction on some level? Whether you have mild, moderate, or severe ED, West Coast Men's Health can help. We don't prescribe pills and hope they work. Instead, we treat the root cause of the problem with acoustic wave therapy, which breaks down plaque, unclogs arteries, and restores blood flow. We've treated thousands of men across our 11 locations nationwide and have established ourselves as a leader in the industry. So whether you have ED, Peyronie's disease, or suffer from chronic pain, such as neuropathy, carpal tunnel, or Dupuytren's contracture, West Coast Men's Health can help. No pills, no shots, no surgery, just results.
With clinics in San Mateo, Pleasanton, Walnut Creek, and Elk Grove, call West Coast Men's Health at 650-407-1168. That's 650-407-1168. 650-407-1168. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com. The stall has been cleared from the lower deck of the Bay Bridge. Frank Munich with our latest look at traffic. That stall was blocking the right lane of the lower deck eastbound 80 just past San Francisco Anchorage or White Lane. Now though, reports of an accident on the Isabela off-ramp from the lower deck, blocking the lane there. Your next update at 11:38 on the traffic leader KCBS. Partly cloudy tonight. We're looking at lows in the 30s and 40s. Partly cloudy tomorrow with some patchy morning fog, highs upper 50s to low 60s. A coastal flood advisory will be in effect from 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. tomorrow. Traffic and weather together on the 8th on All News 106.9 and AM 740 KCBS.
Thinking about refinancing or buying a new home but not convinced the time is right? KCBS has you covered. Tune into the KCBS Mortgage Rate Watch every morning at 9:55 to get up to the minute Bay Area residential mortgage rate. Sponsored by Fremont Bank, the Bay Area's premier mortgage lender. I'm William Mason, KCBS foodie chef, Ritz-Carlton Half Moon Bay chef, executive chef, Roberto Meneros. When you have Christmas here, what's on the menu?
Well, as of San Francisco, our chef de cuisine in Navio is original from Spain. So we're making a traditional here, and one of the stars of the dishes in the menu for dinner is the cannelloni for Navio. And this is started already a traditional here.
All happy over the holidays. Ritz-Carlton Half Moon Bay more at KCBSradio.com and click on foodie chef.
News that matters to you around the Bay, around the world, around the clock. All News 106.9 and AM 740 KCBS.
It's Saturday, December 23rd, 2023. Coming up on KCBS, there's unfinished work ahead for lawmakers in 2024. Also,
I'm Kathy Whitman with ways to keep the holiday season from becoming too stressful.
and as as the 49ers get ready to take on the Ravens, they're also taking on the city of Santa Clara.
CBS News Brief. President Biden spoke with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu Saturday, says the BBC's Shingai Nyoka.
The conversation follows the near-unanimous UN Security Council vote to scale up humanitarian aid into Gaza and to create conditions for an urgent and extended pause in the fighting.
After the holiday break, the nation's leaders will be confronted with a full plate, says CBS's Willie James Inman.
On the list of unfinished business for the president and lawmakers, government funding which expires early in the new year, a supplemental funding bill for Israel and Ukraine, and changes to the nation's immigration system.
Expect storms on Christmas Day, but not the kind that bring snow, says meteorologist John Hart at the Storm Prediction Center.
Concerns for heavy rain and even possible flooding as storms move across much of the lower Mississippi Valley, in Arkansas, Louisiana, into Mississippi Sunday night and into Christmas Day.
CBS News Brief. I'm Christopher Cruz.
KCBS News Time, 11:32. Good evening. I'm Peter Finch. The 49ers taking on the Baltimore Ravens Christmas Day, but another battle wages on between the city of Santa Clara and the Niners. KCBS's Mary Hughes reports.
The source of this tension between the city and the team is over who will be responsible for paying public employees overtime for stacking the game on Christmas. This is something the Niners have covered before, but they rejected a request from the city this November to handle overtime pay for city employees. Here's Javon Grogan, city manager, with the Niners' explanation on that refusal.
Our organization has, on occasion, reimbursed the city for certain public safety costs incurred during holiday events to allow for overtime pay. However, it is essential to note that the city has since mandated a policy of double pay for officers for every 49ers game.
At a city council meeting on Tuesday, the council unanimously approved the double pay agreement for the Ravens-Niners game staff, but Mayor Lisa Gilmore said that the public shouldn't have to pay for it, and she wants city staff to keep negotiating with the team.
I think that we should go back to the negotiating table and say, no, it's only fair that all of our employees should have double time, especially Christmas Day or any holiday.
Mary Hughes, KCBS.
After a year marked by labor strikes, at least one is already in the works for 2024. The California Faculty Association has announced a week-long strike from January 22nd to the 26th across all 23 Cal State campuses. The association, which represents about 29,000 professors and lecturers, has been fighting for a 12% general salary increase for this year. But labor negotiations with the Chancellor's office have been stalled for months. CSU is proposing a total raise of 15% over 3 years, including this year. This holiday season, Los Angeles County officials are helping out veterans who are now civilians. We get more from reporter Pete Demetrio.
More than 1,000 laptop computers refurbished with up-to-date hardware such as cameras and current issue software have found their way from LA County's Internal Services Department into the hands of veterans who will be able to make use of them. Selwyn Hollins, the ISD director, knew there would be a surge of people who would want to take advantage of the program, but the turnout surprised even him.
When we put out the word that we're giving away 1,000 laptops in 3 days, we were bombarded with over 1,000 requests from all over the county of Los Angeles.
And the vets who picked up their laptops at 15 different libraries throughout LA County weren't shy about telling him how they plan to use their new cyber tools.
They're looking for jobs, they're looking to get connected, they're looking to get digital literacy training, they're looking to be able to take advantage of the many benefits that are available to veterans, from subsidy programs and other things that they haven't been able to get access to.
Hollins says with the help of federal funds and other resources, they're hoping to expand the laptop giveaway next year to more than 7,500 veteran candidates. Pete Demetrio, KCBS.
The Santa Clara County Superior Court announcing this week that it has launched 2 new policies this year aimed at reducing unnecessary jail bookings and to improve court efficiency. One of the policies allows anyone with an active bench warrant to self-schedule their matter and appear in court on an out-of-custody basis. The warrant remains active until the person shows up to the court appearance, where the judge may review the person's custodial status. The other new policy pertains to an out-of-custody arraignment that may be scheduled scheduled before the court by people who receive notice of an arrest warrant, and this may be done. Well, we counsel, this allows them to appear in court without first being taken into custody, while the judge at arraignment may review their custodial status. According to the court, all charges are eligible for this policy. The new bench warrant policy took effect in May, while the new arrest warrant protocol took effect in November in partnership with the Sheriff's Office, the District Attorney's Office, and the Public Defender's Office. U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development released figures this month showing that homelessness rose 12% in the United States since 2022, but CBS News correspondent Allison Keyes reports some advocates say this isn't the whole picture.
At the nonprofit Community Solutions, Adam Ricky explains that HUD's point-in-time count isn't a clear look at the extent of homelessness in the nation.
It doesn't show the full breadth and scope of homelessness because it's just one point in time.
Ricky says that some people are missed, including those who might not be visibly homeless, such as people living in their cars and
People who are, maybe in core climates where, there aren't as many unsheltered homeless because it's so cold out.
he adds that issues including climate change and the lack of affordable housing are creating huge challenges. Ricky also says people can help those suffering in their own communities.
You can give back by contributing to those local nonprofits, by contributing to organizations that are designed to help solve the problem.
CBS News.
Anyone with a license to practice law can represent you when you've been injured.
Any lawyer can call the insurance company and try to resolve your case.
But if the insurance company says, go fly a kite, not every lawyer is willing to take your case to court.
The worst thing is when the insurance company decides that it's cheaper to wear you down than it is to pay you the amount they owe you.
So they just keep throwing lawyers at you, gambling that your law firm won't be willing to cover the expense of a long, protracted fight.
At Habit Law, we believe that a personal injury lawyer should take care of every client like they were a member of their own family.
That's one of the things we do, and we do it very well.
That's why we don't back away when insurance companies dare us to match them dollar for dollar.
We believe in you, we believe in your case, and we believe we can win.
Call Habit Law at 1-800-INJURE.
When you talk with Habit Law, your day gets a whole lot better. There's a new crash in San Jose. Frank Munich at the traffic desk with the details. Yeah, the Laughlin Avenue on-ramp northbound 280. We have a report of an injury crash. One car reportedly striking a pedestrian. We have emergency crews now arriving on scene. Report that we mentioned last time was an accident on the Yerba Buena off-ramp that would essentially be the Treasure Island off-ramp from eastbound 80 on the Bay Bridge. We have that blocking one lane of the off-ramp and not affecting the lower deck itself. Problem in San Francisco, westbound 80 at Harrison Street. We have a report of an accident there. It's unclear at this point as to whether we have a lane blocked. And northbound 680 on the South Mission Boulevard off-ramp, we have a report of a stall blocking a lane on that ramp. Well, the KCBS Home Force number is open for traffic tips at 415-391. KCBS is 415-391-527. Your next update at 11:48 on the traffic leader, KCBS. Partly cloudy in the Bay Area. Overnight lows 30s and 40s. Mostly 40s. Partly cloudy tomorrow with some patchy morning clouds. Some expected highs tomorrow. San Francisco, Santa Rosa, and Palo Alto, 57 degrees. Oakland, Concord, and Mill Valley, 58 degrees. Livermore, 60. San Jose, 61. Traffic and weather together on the 8th on All News 106.9 and AM 740 KCBS.
Attention taxpayers, if you or your business owe the IRS back taxes or have years of unfiled tax returns, the IRS has green-lighted billions of dollars in tax